We're down here in the McKenzie Country, we're fishing the canals, and on this trip I've been lucky enough to fish with Nicor. Nicor's a fishing guide down here. How many years have you been doing this for?
Fishing guiding, I've done it for officially 4 years.
Yep.
And the first time I come here was 93. 93,
wow. What makes you keep coming back to this area?
Oh, it's just this special place, you know, you've got good sights here and big fish.
Yeah, there's a lot of big fish. If you get a chance, check out Nicor's Instagram page. I mean, some of the fish that you've been showing us are just unbelievable.
Some big fish,
yeah.
And you meet a lot of good people down here too.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. It seems like it's a really social way of fishing. This is the first time I've ever done it, and I've got to thank you for sharing everything with me. But it's quite an interesting rig that we've been using. We're doing a lot of egg rolling, and there's other forms of fishing that you can do as well. But the main fishing that we've been doing is rolling eggs down through the current.
Yep.
But what I've noticed is everything is very, very light, and yet these fish are very big. You know, some of these fish are over 40 pounds. So tell us a little about the rig and what you're actually using here.
So this is a drift rig, and using a three-way swivel.
Yep.
Set up for your drop shot sinkers.
Yep. And that's a drop shot sinker there.
Yeah, and it's just a little bar there, so it just adds a bit more sensitivity to the line.
So how long would that dropper rig be there?
So we'll go 20 centimetres to 30 centimetres.
Yep.
On that for the dropper.
And then off that we've got a sort of a main leader system. The first thing I noticed was that we're actually using 2 eggs.
2 eggs. Yep.
What's the length of that roughly?
So that we'll have that up to 1.8 metres.
1.8 metre leader.
Yep. Depending on the length, of the rod.
Yep.
So we might go from the reel to the tip.
Yep. And I noticed that the main leader ties to the first hook, which you've got an egg on, and then you've got a small leader which actually ties to the bottom of the gape of the hook.
Yes, correct.
To the next hook, which has got another egg on it.
Yep. So
double the chances.
That's right.
Yeah.
2 colours, 2 chances.
So Nicor, everything's super light. Tell us about the leader. What size is it?
This 8-pound sepia leader.
Okay.
So it's a shock leader.
Shock leader, yeah. And is it you're using fluorocarbon?
Yes, as well. So they can't see the line.
Yep.
Eggs look natural. So
yeah. And then another great thing about fluorocarbon is the abrasion resistant as well, eh? It holds up a lot better than mono, doesn't it?
Yep.
And one thing that you have taught me is, keep checking the leader. I noticed, you had a little bit of scuffing in it where it had been rubbing on the rocks, and you made me change it straight away, which is pretty smart when I guess every cast is you got that opportunity of
you don't want to lose that big fish, so
yeah,
it can be that one chance and you miss it. So
yeah. Nicor, what's your preferred hook size?
The G12 grub hook.
It's a grub hook, yeah. To me, it looks like a little live baiting hook. It's super strong. I guess fighting these big fish, it needs to be, eh?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, don't want a hook that bends out or breaks.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's amazing. These rigs are so light. The components, everything, the swivels, everything's really high quality. Yet you're fishing for these massive fish. And I guess noticing how you're fishing, it's all about the presentation, isn't it?
Yes, it definitely is. The colour of the egg.
Yeah.
Every day it can be different.
Yeah. And this isn't really the only form of fishing that you're doing here as well, eh? What are other techniques?
Soft baiting,
yep.
Lure fishing.
Yep.
Swinging flies.
Yeah. But this is pretty much your
standard
predominant setup, or your go-to way of fishing around here.
Yep. That can be for the beginners to experts. So.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for sharing all that, Nicor. That's some pretty valuable information. But I think it's time to get back on the banks and try and catch that big trout, eh?
Definitely. Let's go. So we're going to cast over into a certain section of this water. We'll just cast out on a similar 45 angle. Let it sit. Then we want the line to feed out until it stops. And then we know we're on the bottom. Then we'll mend our line so it's nice and straight instead of having, so there's no bow in it. Basically it's tapping the bottom now. And I'll start walking. Keeping an eye on my line, making sure it's nice and taut, no bow in it. So we're just looking for a bit of a bouncing motion from the sinker. Sends a bit of a vibration through the rod so you know it's on the bottom, and just waiting for those bites. You might get a couple of big tugs or quick tugs, wee pulls, and that will indicate you're getting bites from a fish. So when I get a bite, obviously I strike, I lift the rod up, set the hook. The fish might get that reaction where he wants to run, so I'll let him run, but making sure I've got a good bend on the rod. And sometimes they might run back at you, so you need to keep up with your line, making sure it's taut. You want to be in front of the fish. That's the easiest way to control them. But if you're behind the fish, he's going to control you and make you go for a walk. Another way of detecting bites is having your finger on the braid. You can feel everything through the line. Where for myself, I like to have my finger off the braid. I can feel everything I want to feel through the rod. The dial unit is so sensitive, I can just feel everything.
Let's talk about the rod and reels, mate. What are you actually looking for?
Length,
Length.
strength, casting ability,
Yeah.
sensitivity.
And I mean, the sensitivity, using really light gear, light hooks, small lures, or eggs. So that's really critical, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And then like you say, for strength, you want a good graphite rod when you see the size of these fish you're catching.
Yeah, and just some rods are just not capable of pulling them in.
Yeah. So these rods that we're using are about the 8-foot size?
Yeah, 8'6".
8'6".
I don't think you need to go any bigger. These are perfect for casting your lures,
Yeah.
eggs out,
Yeah.
soft baits.
So what are you looking for in a reel?
Lightness in the reel,
Yeah.
the drag system.
So you want a good smooth drag?
Is really important.
Yeah.
For when you're fighting fish, you just don't want a jerking drag.
Especially with small hooks, you don't want a jerky drag because
No, not at all. You need your smooth drag just in case, like it won't break your line or anything.
Yeah.
Where your jerking drags will just end up snapping your line.
Yeah. Gotcha.
The stop-start motion.
One of the great things with these more modern reels, especially like Vanquish and the Stella, you've got that affinity loop, which
is amazing.
Yeah, which enables the line when you're winding up and down. It's a lot tighter tolerances, so you get a really nice even lay. So that really helps with the drag as well, doesn't it? So you get that line's pulling
Comes off
nice
smoothly.
And casting distance as well.
Yeah, and it looks good when it's casting.
What size braid are you using?
My braid that I'm using on here is a Cephia braid, and this is 11 pound.
11-pound braid.
So it's pretty small too. So.
Yep. What size range for reels?
So your 1,000 to 3,000
Yeah.
is your size range you'll use at the canals.
Yeah.
Your 3,000 is more maybe for your bait fishing or something like that. And
Right. Yep.
your 1,000s, your lures and
Yep.
egg rolling.
And I see you love the 2,500 size.
And yeah, 2.5 is just my favourite.
So it's pretty much got the good line capacity, good drag capacity, and still nice and light, eh?
Just light, fits what I want on there.
Yeah.
And it's just neat in the hand.
Yeah. Yep. And it comes back to that balanced system, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Oh, let's get back into it.